I think when we think of breakthrough, we think of massive achievements, massive steps forward. We go from here to there. But often, like innovation doesn't happen in one fell swoop. There's great ideas, there's creativity, and all of a sudden we see something innovative. But there's a tremendous amount of things happening on the back end. And the same thing is true with breakthrough. So I don't want you to leave today saying, well, do you know what kind of client I work on? Do you know how long I've been stuck in Kentucky? You can't get breakthrough in Kentucky. Because this thinking of double down on the past, it's very hope for breakthrough oriented. But let's not spend any more time on the old rules. Let's look at the new rules. Now, these new rules are for breakthrough. And honestly, I'm interested in that. But what I'm more interested in is spending the rest of our time this morning talking about you. See, the thing that I'm most obsessed with is a human being. And a human being wakes up and they go to work, and then they have some degree of connections and relationships and family life, and then they go home at some point. It's a human being that has things that are important to them. It's a human being that their heart beats. It's a human. And I think that every human has this degree of greatness inside of them. And it's such an honor for me to get to be here with you. And whether you see it or not, it's just unbelievably incredible when you begin to look at what it is that you have here.
All right, special treat time. So I'm here at a restaurant. You can see it in the back. And less than 2 miles from this restaurant is the place where I did today's event. And something that I've not really talked about much at all, maybe part embarrassment, part you never know when the right time to talk about it is, or you're fearful that, I don't know, a meeting planner or somebody who sees this is like, oh, we don't want somebody who's new or trying to, you've got fears. I had fears. And so I'm here at this restaurant right now. And so about 7 years ago is when I started in this business, started out as an entrepreneur. And it wasn't until 3 years ago that I was finally able to go full time and sustain myself, sustain my family as a speaker, as a consultant. And so this restaurant is where I would spend 40 plus hours a week trying to, as side hustle, if you will, to keep food on the table while I was trying to go. Every month, kind of financially falling further and further behind, sometimes being at the restaurant at 2 a.m. and the next morning having to be at a networking event or having to prepare content for the, like, it was something that has been like challenging to talk about, because like when you step out as an entrepreneur, you are passionate about something, you have an idea, and maybe you don't know how long it's going to take. And I had no clue how long it was going to take to reach this point in this restaurant right here, which was 2 miles away from the venue, where it's not all about money. But today I made in a day what took me almost 2 months to make it this fine dining restaurant. And I did well as a server at this restaurant. And I think just like, I don't know, fortuitous, just gratefulness, I thought, I gotta go there. Today's the day where we begin to maybe talk about how this was a part of my journey, how hustling, I don't know if hustling is the wrong word. I mean, there was times and there was moments where this became my priority, where I started to think more about the restaurant than I did about who I was trying to become and what I was trying to do. And so here's the short of it. For 3 years, I had to work here to keep food on the table while I was trying to grow my business. Sucks that it took that long. Sucks that I had to keep chipping away, but found a way to not give up, found a way to continually remind myself. So when we talk about Meraki, when I talk about the tingly feeling, some of those experiences were actually formed here. Like, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew where I wanted to try and go, but I didn't have the financial ability. I had a family. We had to find ways to keep food on the table, to keep bills paid, to try and pay the minimum on credit cards that we were trying to use to stay alive. And you think of a keynote speaker as a professional who has accomplished major things in their life and now hits the stage, but there's also people who genuinely love the performance of speaking, who have a message that they want to try and deliver. There's tons of people that have that feeling, but it's a hard business to break into. But I wanted to come here and just film this as a declaration, as an opening to begin to maybe talk more about that season in life when it was so hard. But this season in life taught me so much about Meraki, taught me so much about the love and the essence of who you are. And it doesn't matter what role you're in. Maybe you're in a company that you love and the project, 2-year project you're on is so horrid, and you think that it's just grinding you to death, but you know you're on the right path. It's no different than what I was doing here while I was trying to grow my passion, while I was trying to get into more alignment with the things that I love most. But I learned Meraki here. I learned about doing whatever it takes. And so now when I speak from the stage about what we need to do to overcome obstacles, I'm getting, my words are out. I'm feeling all jumbled. But I learned that I was going to do whatever it takes, because being on the stage, being in front of a group of people is my tingly feeling. And when we talk about the research that shows only 4% of our work, or as little as 4% of our work, is the tingly feeling. And so when people get frustrated that their job is not amazing all the time, it's like I come from a place of authenticity going, I get it. I get it. Maybe it will become a little bit more of the dialogue that I share with you about what it took to get to this point. 3 years ago in September was the moment that I finally stepped out hardcore. Like, it wasn't as though there was a safety net. It was just, are we going to play halfway in, or are we going to play all the way in? And 3 years ago, stepped out, and it was a shaky few months. And there's been some shaky times since, but you know, the last couple of years have created a solid base and been able to eliminate that debt and create a foundation and grow the organization to a point that it's healthy and we are moving forward. And so I appreciate you coming with us on this experience, and too bad we didn't have this experience captured from way before. That would have been cool. I mean, you think it would have been embarrassing, or you're like, oh, I don't want to showcase that, but it's cool to see where we were and where we are now. So thank you so much for coming on this journey. And I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now, but I'm just so grateful for what it is that I get to do and where we've come and where we are. And what I'm most excited for is where we're going. The messaging is getting more clear. The understanding is getting more clear. And it's just a matter of unlocking and unleashing everything that's in our heart, my heart and my mind, and getting such good responses every audience we get in front of. So thank you. This is it. I'm done. 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. It feels like I've been talking for 2 minutes. Love you guys.